There's that man again.
Fragrances that I find absolutely spectacular. I'm going to tell you about them. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Teddy Files. I'm your resident sommelier, Mr. Diaz Teddy, and I know I've been gone for a while. I've been working on a project over on my podcast, and we had a ball. We had a great time doing it. It was a AI versus battle where people had to create their own music and present it up there for judgment for the people to either like or dislike so they can take it to the next round. It was an entire Final Four basketball reference and everything. It just went wonderful. All of these creative people, all of this creative juice flowing, it was absolutely amazing, and I had a great time. But I'm here because I have missed speaking about and talking about fragrances, and I'm pretty sure you guys missed me speaking about and talking about fragrances. So the very first fragrance that I want to talk about, because I happen to find these fragrances that I'm talking about today absolutely spectacular. And the first one that I want to talk about is one that I recently got into the collection, and that would be Azzaro Chrome Azure. So this one here, when I first smelled it, it was for me a nosegasm. Just real talk. I love winter fragrances. Everybody knows this, but there is something about a clean, beautiful, fresh, citrusy, just amazing, beautiful explosion of just cleanliness and just summer and spring all in a bottle. That is what this one is. You still get the original chrome in the fragrance as well, but what you mostly get is that beautiful freshness at the top. And that freshness at the top, to me, man, is what really just makes it hit home. Honestly, it hits home. It hits home to me every single time I smell it. I'm trying not to spray so much in the room. Like I did that before. I had a whole lot of stuff spraying in the room, and then I stopped, and then I started again. And it's just a bad habit for me. I got to stop doing that because I'm in a small closed area. I don't need to be spraying like that. But if we want to talk about these fragrance notes, let's talk about the fragrance notes in this fragrance right here. I mean, you got your top note of that beautiful bright bergamot, the soapiness of that lavender, and the added C notes is what adds to the metallic nature that is normally in the original chrome. But the C notes and that beautiful bergamot, when I tell you this is a gorgeous fragrance, and I am so excited to get this back on my skin. Or get this on my skin, not back on my skin. Like I said, I just got it in. But I'm excited to get it on my skin and wear it in that high heat so I can see how it performs. This is a great fragrance. And like I said, for me, it's one that I find absolutely spectacular. And that would be Chrome Azzaro Azure. So the next fragrance that I got coming up, you guys probably knew I was going to get this in the collection at some point. If anybody knows, I've spoken about it extensively. I am a Ralph Lauren fan. I love the brand of Polo. I'm not gonna say I have all of them, but I have a pretty good amount of them. But when the Ralph's Club fragrances came out, they were something I was very interested in, and I went in and got the very first one, which was the Ralph Club EDP, and then I went on and got the Parfum, which of course is a more intense version of the EDP. But for me, the best one so far, the best one that I've smelled is this one here, and that would be Ralph's Club Elixir. So this one here, I would say it's grown up Ralph's Club in a bottle. And Ralph's Club, in my opinion, was already a grown up smelling fragrance. It was already a more of a refined version of any of Ralph Lauren's fragrances. But for me, the Elixir, I swear this puts it over the top. This puts it over the top. I have been thoroughly enjoying wearing this. I've been thoroughly enjoying just spraying it in the air and testing it and all of this other stuff. This fragrance right here is right up my alley. It's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about just one of those grown ass man fragrances. And this is definitely one of those grown ass man fragrances. For the notes in this one, they're let's see, we have the cardamom, of course, that spiciness from the cardamom, and then you got that grapefruit and that green mandarin. But you get that creaminess of that orris as well. And then you get that soapy lavender, the sage, geranium, the leather, of course, that's added, the olibanum, patchouli, and balsam fir, all to come together to just give you this manly cigar bar type of fragrance that you wear around the fellas when you're sitting around thinking about ideas, putting together deals, shooting the breeze. This is the perfect fragrance for those types of situations. And this is something that, once again, I'm so happy to get on my skin. And in all honesty, if you are a fan of that kind of DNA, you will be happy to get it on your skin as well. And that will be Ralph's Club Elixir. So the next fragrance that I have coming up is a very underrated and really untalked about brand. I haven't really heard a lot of people speak on it. I don't think I've heard anyone speak on this brand. And they have pretty good soaps, but they damn sure have some pretty good fragrances. And that would be Mistral. And this fragrance that I'm talking about today would be Mistral Bourbon Vanilla. So this here, creamy, smooth, but some of that sharpness of that bourbon as well. This is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. I'm going to spray it, but I'm going to spray it in a box. And sometimes I'll do that if I don't have a strip available or something like that. And once again, I don't want to spray it all up in the air, man, because, I don't want to fill the room with a whole bunch of scents today. So this one here, just that bourbon, man. That bourbon really is pronounced. It's creamy. It has a richness to it, but it also has an effervescence as well. It is a well done fragrance. I did not know Mistral was a niche brand as well. I mean, when I looked it up, it said they were a niche brand, so I had no idea. But I know that their fragrances, well, especially this one, the one I'm speaking of right now, is definitely niche quality, and especially with some of the notes that you're coming in with. You got that vanilla, that cumin, that orange blossom, with middle notes of almond, ambrox, and cedarwood, with base notes of musk, patchouli, and sandalwood. This is an absolutely amazing fragrance. How they achieve the bourbon, I have no idea. But when I smell it, I'm telling you now, clear bourbon vanilla. Clear bourbon vanilla. I don't know if it's the almond and ambrox, or I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a fragrancier or any of that type of thing. I'm just a guy that likes to smell fragrances and talk about them. And this is definitely one for me that is worth talking about. It's one that it was worth getting in my collection, and for you, it might be worth it as well. And that would be Mistral's Bourbon Vanilla. Let's see if we can get this guy to focus. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. There he is. Definitely worth it. So the next fragrance that I got coming up, if you like to be buttoned up and refined, this is one that definitely fits the bill, and that will be Déclaration by Cartier. And this is the Fraîcheur fragrance. This one here, how do I describe this one? Powdery, manly, musky fragrance. That is the best way for me to describe it. It has a upfront powdery nature to it, but it is manly, it is musky, it is refined, it is buttoned up. This is an absolute gorgeous fragrance, and I'm about to break every damn one of my rules. No, I'm not. I'm going to spray it, but I'm not going to spray it in the air. So we got these boxes here for, like I said, I don't have any strips available, but these boxes are here, so let's get it in there. And yeah, absolutely, damn it. Absolutely, man. Look, honestly, and guys, sometimes, guys, I like to give shouts out to some of the guys in the fragrance community, because I'm not a hater, and I don't have a problem recognizing people who have influenced me. And shout out to Justin Copeland, man. Shout out to Stay Fresh Productions. He's been talking about Cartier for quite a while now, and I finally decided to go ahead and get my hands on it. And Justin, thank you, sir. Thank you. My God, this is an absolutely amazing fragrance. I mean, let's get into some of these notes with this fragrance because, in all honesty, once again, it is a buttoned up, refined fragrance, in my opinion. It is definitely something. Even if you're not wearing a whole suit, definitely got to put a button up shirt on with this one. I mean, you got the citrus leaf at the top with that beautiful spiciness of the cardamom and then that cedar. And you guys know we only get a 3 note breakdown with a lot of these fragrances nowadays because they just don't want to give us any more. But we pretty much know there's a lot more in there. But right now, what they're talking about is citrus leaf. They're talking about cedar, and they are talking about cardamom. But you get all of that, but there's a creamy powdery nature to this. But then there's that muskiness as well. This is an amazing fragrance, and in all honesty, it's one that I'm going to get quite a few wears out of. It's great for spring, so it's a great springtime fragrance. I'm not sure about summer. Summer might be a little bit much to ask for this one, but in, let's say, fall and spring, this fragrance right here will do you well. I kid you not. And it is one that I'm so glad that I have in a collection, and that would be Déclaration Cartier Fresh. So the last fragrance that I'm talking about today is from a fragrance line that a lot of people don't talk about. I mean, they talk about a few fragrances in the line, but he has so many different fragrances, and that would be Jose del Pozo. And everybody would know him, of course, by the Halloween Man collection. But he has a brand new Nightology collection that he has out now. And I bought 2 of the fragrances. The one that I want to talk about tonight is the one that if you are a tobacco lover, then this is definitely one you got to get in your collection. And that would be Nightology's Wild Temptation. So for me, this fragrance, first of all, it's strong, so I would not be spraying this in the air at all. I mean, I ain't spraying it in the box. I'm not doing I overdid the sprays. I did like 5 or 6 sprays, way too damn much. This, it's nuclear. It's nuclear for me. I don't know about for you, but for me, man, look, it was way too much to do 5 sprays. 3 should have been enough. Maybe 2, I'm not sure. But I know that 5 was a bit much. Damn sure a bit much. Because if you like tobacco, I mean, it's tobacco on the front, tobacco on the back, tobacco on the side. It's a tobacco fragrance. And you're going to get your fair share of tobacco out of this fragrance. Because in all honesty, to me, it is it's like that. That's the best way I can say it. It's like that, man. And I love tobacco fragrances. So for me, this was a win-win. I just had to watch the sprays a little bit. But a lot of your fragrance notes that you're going to find in this specific fragrance would be, you got your cinnamon, you got the beauty of that sweet peach, you got the spice from the nutmeg, saffron, you got the tobacco, and some of that agar wood. I mean, this fragrance, when I tell you, Mr. Del Pozo knocked it out of the park on this one, guys. I'm telling you, it is worth the purchase. I think I may have paid under $50 for it, which is great because it's long lasting, it's strong, it's thick. Yeah, it is. It's addictive too. It's addictive because, like I said, if you are a fan of just beautiful, what I would say for me, it puts me in the mind of the Carolina Herrera tobacco fragrance. Can't think of the name of it at the moment. I don't own it, but I've smelled it. And this reminds me of that a lot, especially the power coming off of it. This is a strong fragrance, man. So once again, I will tell you, you get your hands on it, watch your sprays. Now, I have to warn you, if you get it from Sloma Shop, shout out to TLTG Reviews. If you get it from Joma, it takes 3 weeks before they ship it. So just understand that you're going to be waiting on it. So by the time you get it, if you order it now, you may get it by June. But you'll get it and you'll love it. It's a really great tobacco fragrance. And even if you get it when it starts to get a little bit warmer, you have something to look forward to when the weather gets cold again. And that will be Nightology, Wild Temptation. Well, everybody, once again, that is my time. I want to thank you guys for joining me over here on the Teddy Files. I know that there are a lot of people that you can go watch, and I appreciate you guys rocking with me and sticking with me. I know it's been a while. I've been gone for a while, but I'm getting back into the groove. But I will put the link up so you guys, if you would like to, you can go ahead and check out that versus battle. It was something to see. It was an epic podcast that I had, and I think it's something that you enjoy if you're a music lover as well. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel because it helps the channel to grow, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you won't miss another episode of the Teddy Files. My name is Mr. Diaz Teddy, your fragrance sommelier, and over here we don't do stink, so please don't be a stink ass. Have a good one.
The sophisticated grizzly, smooth fragrance smeller. Let's be the grizzly podcaster extraordinaire. We are the grizzly.